Hey, everybody, it's the coach. You're tuned in to Sunday Night Football on EA Sports. Up next, we've got a good one on tap between the visiting Houston Texans and the Seattle Seahawks. With that, we're out to Seattle for the 32nd and final home opener of the 2018 season. Standing by are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, it is a sound like no other when they raise that 12th man flag here in Seattle. We just heard it, and that means it's time for football at CenturyLink Field. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Houston Texans and the Seattle Seahawks. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Seahawks team as they get ready here. And losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Texans, they too were losers last week, so they're also hoping to get back in the win column.
Something's got to give in this one, right? Both teams want to start a new streak, and they both want it to be a victory. This should be a fun one.
Two 1-1 teams here, each looking to move over 500, and we're underway here in Week 3. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. Under center, it'll be the former UCLA Bruin, Josh Rosen.
And no excitement unless you're on the defensive team of last week in his numbers, because the only excitement he really generated was the one interception he threw.
Yeah, no touchdown passes.
Yeah, and his team wasn't real thrilled about that, and they lost the game. So I know this week has been tough on him because he's been working hard. Fundamentals, footwork, finding the right targets, and bottom line, how do they get a win?
They'll look to throw on first down with Josh Rosen. And his first pass here is going to fall incomplete. Jordan Thomas, the one he was looking for, but it'll be second down. And let's look here at the Houston offense.
And they come off a tough loss last week, and what's their reward? A second straight road game. Rarely are teams happy about scheduling. They're always calling the league office saying, how come we have this game and that game? But when you're coming off of a loss on the road and you go right into another one, that's a difficult task.
And once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. They'll run for the first time with Johnson.
And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
And just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. And eventually taken down, but how about that athletic spin move we saw? Gives him the first down yardage.
Let's go.
Rosen hands off to Johnson. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle, setting a tone early for his defense.
Solid move, but he's corralled just beyond the 40. They'll get 3 out of the dump-off there, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. The Seahawks, here's their defensive lineup.
Jadeveon Clowney was the #1 pick in the NFL draft, and it was with good reason. An absolute athletic freak. Now he's trying to add consistency to his game.
It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down. Out of the gun, here's Josh Rosen. And this is going to be incomplete. Not the opening possession they were looking for, especially on the road.
No doubt about it, because they wanted to come out and establish a little momentum right away. But now bringing up a 4th down, an empty possession, not what they were seeking.
Now Jordan Berry on to kick this one away. This is away, and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. This one will sail out of bounds. It'll depend on the spot here. And the side judge says that went out at the 7-yard line.
Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they place them and try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels on the sidelines to try and put the football in one.
And some room for him there as he'll take this up to about the 15. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Switch.
On 2nd down, here's Penny. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and 12. We've become so accustomed to it, you sort of take it for granted.
You really do, but he is so good that every team in his division, every year, is trying to make sure they draft people charged with trying to block J.J. Watt. So far, hasn't been too successful.
Hey, we got to get this stop here, D. Kill.
Now they'll throw it with Wilson. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
It looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
Friday.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. Give him 8 yards that time on the scramble, and now 4th down.
That was a good effort there, trying to do it on his own, but as a defender, you're in a tough spot because you have coverage responsibilities behind you, and if you take off too quick to try and get him down, he might loft it over your head.
So better to track with your man defensively than try to go up and make a stop on the quarterback.
Exactly right. What you're hoping is that your guys in the front 7 can get him down.
Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Pretty nice work defensively there on the 1st down run as they hold him to a gain of a couple. The numbers a week ago for Johnson. 16 carries, 71 yards.
He's having a nice season, and he knows where he ranks in the league. Don't ever let a running back tell you that they don't know that. They do. So what he's doing now is lobbying the offensive coordinator all week long. Hey, how about a few more touches? He's one big game away from maybe leading the league.
On second down, Johnson. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Let's make these babies cry.
From the gun, it's Rosen. And that will be incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
Throwing here to start the drive as they connect left side. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. That'll pick up the first down for Seattle on a gain of 18. So the ball moves from their own 41 to the other 41 here for 1st and 10. They'll toss it to Penny. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
What? 55. Hey, eat. Switch.
Now on 2nd and 13. Wilson. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack. Back at the 47-yard line. Bernardrick McKinney muscled his way in for the sack.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Wilson to the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here.
Zebra.
From the gun, it's Wilson. He'll find Metcalf. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. On comes the Seahawk kicker here on 4th down. It's Jason Myers. From the left hash, this from 53 yards out. And did he have enough? He did. He kept it on line and managed to tuck it into the bottom right corner. Myers, the AFC's Pro Bowl kicker from a year ago. He was 6 out of 7 from 50-plus last year, and he converts another one here. Myers now converted on the field goal try. Now he's on to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Houston. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, Everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield, incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. And now it's Rosen looking, and that is incomplete here. By the way, I got to apologize because I just realized for about the last 4 or 5 plays I'm eking over into your territory up here in the booth. My bad. I'm going to get back over to my spot.
Yeah, we're not talking about our on-air commentary. I mean, what is all this extra paper? I mean, this is unusual for you.
My bad.
Normally you run a really tight ship. What's going on here?
Just like that incomplete pass, I'm going to try to tighten things up here for this next play. And now the third down throw incomplete as well. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Officially, that'll be a 63-yard punt. Well done. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now 1st and 10 at their own 16. Now it's Wilson. Blitz coming and down he goes. The sack there by J.J. Watt.
Good job.
Second quarter now from Seattle, and it is the Seahawks with the football here as they've got it with a 2nd down coming up. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Here's Wilson to throw. And he finds Penny. And he gets this one just shy of the 35 to the 34. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a 1st down.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and this is what we saw there. A nice pickup for a 1st down.
Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Check 31. Check.
Play action. It's Wilson. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Whitney merciless. He's the one that drops him this go-around, and that pass rush getting strong here. Back-to-back sacks.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Wilson and the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. From the shotgun, Wilson going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
He gets this away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And this will pin him nicely inside the 20 as it's out of bounds at about the 14-yard line. DeAndre Hopkins and the rest of the offense heading back onto the field. Looking down at the stats here, realizing he has no catches. They've targeted him twice, but no catches. So how do they get him more involved, Charles?
You make sure he touches it on routes that he likes to run, maybe even run a reverse or some type of a jet sweep so he gets his hands on the ball and get him active and involved in the game. You just try and find ways to get him going, and it doesn't have to be something that's big downfield.
Maybe kind of like in basketball, just a shooter seeing the ball go through, you get him a rep, get him more comfortable.
I agree with that totally. Maybe set that solid screen and give him an easy look.
Well, to this point, no catches. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. On the ground, this is Johnson. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Give him 17 on the pickup there, and the Texans also get a new set of downs. We often give credit to the O-line there. 2 tight end formation. Those tight ends block pretty well also.
Yeah, and that's one of the most dynamic positions in football now. The tight ends who can block at the line of scrimmage at the point of attack, and they can also get downfield and catch the football.
And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Here's a throw out wide complete to his running back right side. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. 4th down now after a loss of 2. Well, they opted not to run it. They completed the pass on 3rd and 2, but they lost yardage to bring up 4.
Well, give credit to the guys on the other side of the ball. They snuffed out the play. But it does bring into question, 1, the play call, because they didn't run the ball there. They could have run it. And 2, just not getting it. That's got to be deflating for them.
So let's glance at a player's spotlight now with Russell Wilson. He's playing pretty well. I don't think it's necessarily him changing up something he's doing, but that O-line, they've got to protect him better.
They do. They've got to make sure that they give him more than enough time in order to find targets downfield. And sometimes what happens when these things are going on is that the field general will step up and say, hey, that's on me, guys. I didn't get rid of it fast enough. Anything to try and relax them a little bit and take some pressure off because they do know that they are trying.
Yeah, well, we've seen the 4 sacks so far in this contest. On 1st down, Wilson. Well, the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a 1st down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs as we just saw there.
Penny, a 1st down carry. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
1 yard gain. Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 40-yard line. Give me that ball, defense. Check the backer, check the backer. 41 Mike, right here, 41 Mike. Right here.
Play action. Now Wilson. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The intended receiver was DK Metcalf, but now it'll be 3rd down.
Well, Brandon, all receivers are trying to make sure that the defender thinks they're going to the middle of the field when they're running the out cut. On that play, didn't get it done very well because that one was batted down.
The Seahawks on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 9. Operating from the gun, Wilson steps away to his left. And it's knocked away and incomplete. There defensively to knock it away was the safety, Justin Reed.
I think that's a big-time play there because the slant route is really hard to cover because the timing is so quick. But able to see it, diagnose it, and get to the football, that's why he was able to bat it away.
And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. And we focus on Duke Johnson now. And no doubt he's come out of the gate strong, only in week 3, and you see the numbers thus far.
And we always talk about identity, setting a tone, getting the groundwork laid for the season or for a game. And that's what they've done with the running game so far. It reminds me of when I first went to the University of Tennessee. And believe it or not, I was a quarterback for a day and a half. And the first practice session, the first play we ran was 28 pitch, which is a toss sweep. And I remember the offense coordinator saying, that's our identity. That's our bread and butter. That's the basis of our offense. We got to get that down right here, right now. I think we're seeing some of that in this running game here.
So did you not get that down, and that's why you were moved to the defense, or what?
I don't know for that reason, but I do know I saw a couple of guys throw, and immediately they were saying, you need to learn how to backpedal.
Hey, you turned into a heck of a DB, though, partner. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Jaron Reed in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down.
And that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
Let's take it inside his own 40. That'll wind up being a 50-yard punt, though they do get 10 back on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Tyler Lockett trotting onto the field, getting set for this next drive. Second quarter here, he has only 1 catch, but they have the lead. You got to think there's going to be more involved at some point.
That's what you would expect, but sometimes what defenses do to take away a player of his magnitude, it costs them in other areas. And right now, with them losing, they may have to change their focus, and maybe he will open up a little bit more as the game goes on.
Yeah, well, so far, just the single catch. No gain on the play as we have reached the 2-minute warning. Second quarter, 2 minutes remain, 3-0 our score. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL.
All go special! All go special!
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Wilson, it's caught. Lockett. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though.
All right, D, let's go. All right, D. Mike 41. Mike 41. Bound to lose 1.
From the gun, Wilson. And he's got his target. That's more. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. Wilson leaves this one with Penny. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime.
Mike, 280.
On 2nd and 11 now. Wilson, that's caught by Penny. Give him 2 yards on that play. And just like that, it's 3rd down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
Could we get a touchdown in this first half after all? It's 1st and 10.
Mike, 55. Right there in the middle. 55. Coming to you. Coming to you.
Mike, 55. Mike, 55. Hey, eat.
25. 25. Okay, for you. Hatchet. Hatchet.
Wilson now. From the gun, he'll throw. Flushed out right. He's going to take off with it. I guess no need to force it when you can do that instead. First down, 18-yard gain. Now the Seahawks forced to use their third and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. An inaugural trip to the red zone here for the Seahawks. They've got it 1st and goal at the 6.
Check 55 to Mike. Check 55 to Mike.
Oh, here we go.
Now Wilson operating from the gun and nearly picked off there. Almost intercepted. Instead, 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
A line of scrimmage, once again the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal.
Alert. Check Mike. Watch it, 5.
It's our time. It's our time, guys. It's our time.
Wilson. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Tyler Lockett, as the first half is winding down. Here the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. They stay on the ground on first with Johnson. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Just like that.
Here's Rosen to throw. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock. Thomas the intended target. But now it's 3rd down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Looking long for Thomas. And that is incomplete. So we have reached halftime with our score 10-0. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. From there, we're off to check out another game. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a defensive struggle. Which offense can break through in the second half? To find out, let's hand it over to our broadcast team of Brandon Gotten and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. First down, Seattle, 16 yards the gain there. From up near the 40 now after the big play to start, here's another 1st and 10. And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11.
Here we go again. Check 50, check 50.
They go play action now. Wilson. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 41-yard line.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that. And that's what he did.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
You don't want to. Hey, you don't want to see me. You don't want to.
Throwing is Wilson. He gets it to his running back, Rashad Penny. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll be 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
And looking at Houston defensively, they've got a dime set. 6 DBs on 3rd.
Look. Check 13. 19.
They snap it at 1. Now Wilson. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete. The linebacker, Zach Cunningham, there defensively to make that play. That one doesn't find its target, but all in all, he's been much sharper this week. He was under 50% a week ago, and now he's up over 70%.
Well, you know it's standard for quarterbacks and receivers get together for a little extra time each and every day in practice. I get the sense they got together for a lot of extra time this week to try and improve that passing percentage, and it's worked out quite well.
So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the 3rd quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
So here's the Texans offense now. They get set to start this 3rd quarter. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half, Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They go to Johnson again. Good move by Duke. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now a 10th carry for Johnson. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. They have the 1st down with that gain of 4 yards.
There are a lot of different formulas to winning football, but one constant over the years, winning on 3rd down. That pickup there was big because they had struggled throughout this one.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll run it with Johnson. Johnson odds poke free. Football's out. And the Seahawks have picked it up. There he goes right side. And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. The offense, they've had some sloppy moments. Sloppy there again on that one, and it could be the backbreaker.
From a defensive perspective, if the offense is going to be sloppy, you've got to take advantage of that. And that's what they've done all game long.
The extra point now coming from Myers. And that one pushes the lead up to an even 20. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. We get a glance at Duke Johnson as he heads back out onto the field. Looking for a bounce back. Had the fumble a moment ago that went for a touchdown the other direction. See if he can get back in rhythm.
And you have to be very careful about having too quick of a hook with really good players. I did a guy's game in high school where he fumbled 3 times in the first quarter, finished with over 300 yards on the night, later ended up in the NFL. If you've got a talented back, give it back to him.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
Watch the pass. Watch the pass.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 34 yards there and a 1st down.
Well, partner, I have to say they called him in the right defense there. Nickel set, 5th defensive back on the field, and they love to run against that because now you typically get a bigger blocker on a smaller defender.
Yeah, because those DBs like you, they want the interception. They're not as worried about the running play, right?
Not at all. And I still remember being in school, and one of my offensive line teammates used to say, boy, I'd love to come downfield and hit you little people.
Good run there. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Let's see what you got. 6 guys. Check 6 guys.
Draw play. Rosen to Johnson. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Now Johnson. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
1st down, here's the run with Montgomery. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. And they'll throw it with Rosen. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Jamison Crowder. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Texans cut into that lead. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown.
Good work, boy. Let's go. Let's go.
The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And they've got the lead here getting late into the third quarter. And the passing game for them, it's been terrific. We've seen that. But the rushing game, almost non-existent.
And with the lead and trying to finish this game off, they need the running game to come back to life. They need to get sparked that way, take some time off the clock, and keep the ball away from their opponents.
They'll start out here with a jet sweep. He'll have a first down past the 40. And he takes it all the way up to the 47. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
This is one of those plays that could go either way, but we've seen the influence of the college game now in the NFL, where we're seeing more and more of these plays run, and that one went for a big gain.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Now Rashad Penny. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 48-yard line.
Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Seahawks with the possession. They also have the lead here as we get set for the 4th and final quarter. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Check. 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 Check, 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 check.
Here's Wilson. They'll roll him out right. And now he's going to use his legs. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
I like his thought process and his ability to move and get downfield. But what I didn't like was the final decision, to go out of bounds. They want to keep the clock moving. Instead, they give the defense an extra timeout.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. Wilson on the keeper.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
I don't know about you, but I like this call. 3rd and inches, and instead of worrying about getting it back to a running back and maybe there's some penetration from the defensive front, just go ahead and take it, move forward, and pick up the first down.
And as we say often, it shows confidence in your offensive line.
Check, check, check 41. Watch the run, watch the run.
Penny. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
From the 41, Wilson. And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
41. We got to wedge that. Got to do better. Come on. Go. 41's the mic. 41's the mic. Watch the slant. Watch the slant.
On third down, Wilson. And the throw there going to be incomplete. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
Now here's Michael Dixon. He's been terrific so far. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. Out of bounds as he appeared to be looking for the corner. He got it. They're going to mark this at the 4-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And that won't buy him much room. Just a 1-yard gain to the 5.
That first down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room. If you have to run the punter out there, he can successfully complete the punt.
Yeah, didn't get a ton there, but at least some positive yardage. The busy night continues for Johnson.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
The Texans on third down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This will be 3rd and 5. From the shotgun, it's Rosen. Well, the two men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. 4th down. Here's Rosen. And that is incomplete. Mike Tomlin takes a shot here, but to no avail. And now, boy, the ball's going to go over on downs here inside the 10-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. But they can thank their defense for another stop. And now, look at the score, where they've got the football. They're looking pretty good.
They're looking excellent because now you're thinking to yourself, let's just take some time off the clock. Work it down. And, of course, you put another touchdown on the board, you can pretty much say bye-bye to this one.
Play calling here can be a little bit more conservative because of the lead.
A little bit more conservative. The biggest thing, everyone understands how to get the ball downfield and how to stay in bounds and make sure the clock keeps running.
2nd and goal, and Penny standing by himself in the backfield.
Go, go. Go.
And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Trying to get their tight end involved finally. That's the first time that they've looked his way. He's kind of been a forgotten man in this offensive scheme.
Yeah, it didn't look his way at all in the first half, and I'll bet you the offensive coordinator made a note at the half and said, let's get him involved because he could be a big-time playmaker for us.
3 down, 3 down. Hey, check, check. 3 down, 3 down.
Shoot. They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. DK Metcalf. His third touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. There was a lot of zip on that pass, and baseball might have called that a frozen rope.
I like it when you bring the diamond into the game. I'm going back to the gridiron. Had some heat on that bad boy. Sometimes you throw a touchdown pass, and sometimes
you throw, what, a touchdown strike?
There you go. That's my man, in concert.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And that pushes the lead up to an even 20. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it all culminates with a Seattle score. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. And last time out, went for it on fourth down, turned it over, gave him great field position, turned it to 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on fourth down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
19 yards there on the catch and run. Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. Now it's Rosen. Screenplay, Johnson. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. He was trying to hit Thomas that time. Third down here. The Texans on third down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. They want to go to the air again with Rosen. And that is incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on fourth down. They'll try and throw for it with Rosen. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Rosen now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Throwing again, it's Rosen. And this will be incomplete. Another pass attempt, another incompletion. You figure defensively, you're in the fourth quarter here. You've held the team under 100 yards passing. You've done your job.
Especially in today's NFL, which is truly a pass-first league.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. Rosen to throw again. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. They were trying to get it there to Josh Doxson, and it's 3rd down. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
Dumping it off for Johnson. And he's going to get this inside the 30. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 27-yard line. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense, because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket. And there's a completion to the tight end, and look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave them with a third and about 3 to go. The Texans on third down. They've had a lot of chances, but not much success, converting only 3 times. Here it's 3rd and 3. Again, it's Johnson. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down. Again, the offense will stay out there. They've converted once on this drive. What can they do here on 4th down? So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Now Rosen. And this is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Seahawks are going to take over the football. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
They'll start out on the ground with Carson. The tackle that time by Zach Cunningham.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Brings up 2nd and 8 at the 20-yard
line. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. Now 3rd down is looming. A pickup of 2 on 1st down and just 1 yard there.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
The Texans here on 3rd down putting an extra defender in the secondary.
Yo, Jackrabbit, come on.
And the play clock is going to run out here. They're in no hurry to get a play off. And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves them back 5. After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long. Here's Carson. And that's not going to get it done. He'll come up well short of the 1st at about the 21. It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. It leaves him with a 4th down now.
We often talk of situational football. Let's just call it team football. The defense did their job, got off the field, brought up a punting situation, so they're turning the ball back over to their offense. You think those guys will get along very well right now? Of course they will. Defense helped the offense. Now it's their turn to take it downfield.
So the victory here for Seattle, and it was their defense that really paved the way to this victory as they allowed the 1 touchdown, and that was all she wrote.
Almost want to do the defense chant right now, right? Defense with a couple of claps in there, but no one wants to hear that from me. Let's just talk about how they got it done, though. When you take care of every aspect of the game, shut down the run, control the airways, right? Make sure the quarterback is harassed. This type of performance you get. They can't fashion together any offense, no consistency, and they just took control.
So for the Seahawks, they get back in the win column as they move to 2-1 now on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Detroit Lions. Meanwhile, for the Texans, they'll fall to 1-2. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.